seem to mind. Gray had dedicated his brilliance to space exploration and the rocketry necessary to such projects. He had been one of the top 5 scientists given credit for the successful moon landing expeditions, and rumor now had it that he was engaged in developing an even more awesome and spectacular feat. Marjorie smiled ruefully. He wants to bask in the reflected glory of your reputation. I can imagine that his hometown friends would be duly impressed by your visiting him. Oh, Roger isn't that type. I think he genuinely wishes to renew our friendship, which meant a great deal to both of us. What sort of person is he? Oh, pleasant enough, though sometimes inclined to be impulsive. He had a stern streak in him, her father recalled. When he had an idea in his head, he could be stubborn. Marjorie showed surprise. He doesn't sound like the sort of person I'd expect you to strike up a friendship with. Actually, we got along very well. We saw things much differently, but our opposite points of view often resulted in us each getting a broader picture of events. And you want me to go along to this Collinwood with you? Well, the invitation includes you, her father said. You've never seen that part of Maine. I'd say that it would be ideal in September. That's when we've been invited. Her blue eyes twinkled. Jim James will be touring the big cities in the Northeast in September. Are you sure that isn't your reason for wanting to drag me off to an isolated Maine village for weeks? Gray's pleasant features showed a grim smile. Well, that's not my reason, but it could be a good one. You know how I feel about Jim James. You're prejudiced, just because he happens to be a pop singer. Well, not really. I just don't like him for you. He's had too much adulation in his young life. He would spoil any man. And he's had too many wild love affairs for me to want to have him as a son-in-law. Well, I'm terribly fond of him, she warned her father. I regret that, he said honestly. And I would like to keep you two apart, but that's not the reason for thinking of this Maine vacation. Well, it would serve the same purpose, she protested. I'd miss Jim and all the really important concerts in New York, Boston, and Washington. Would that mean a lot to you? Well, I have to say yes. Her father studied her with a resigned expression. At least you are being honest. I always try to be with you, Father, she said, with a wry note in her voice, though often you make it difficult. He frowned slightly. Just what do you see in this singer? All the girls are crazy about him. Well, I don't find that sufficient reason for your infatuation, Murdock Gray worried. You've always been so sensible in this respect. Marjorie smiled and pushed back the long blonde hair that had been hanging close to her cheek. I find Jim fascinating, Father. He has a kind of charm I've never encountered in any other boy. And I believe he loves me. Her father's aristocratic face showed concern. You didn't tell me it was that serious. She shrugged. Perhaps because I've only just discovered how deeply I care for him. And he's made it clear he also loves you? Yes. Gray sighed. Well, I'm sorry things have gone so far without my being aware of what was happening. My recent work at the lab left me with so little free time. Oh, there was nothing you could have done to change things, Marjorie assured him. She hated to see her father worried, but she had no intentions of ending her romance with Jim James because her father disapproved of show business. You won't make any hasty decision? No, she promised. Jim has to go back to England soon. I may accept his ring, but we won't consider marriage until he comes back again. That may not be for 6 months. Gray walked over to the divan and sat by his daughter. Studying her with earnest eyes, he said, 6 months seems an incredibly short time to me. Are you really planning on marrying him that soon? Yes. Her father was silent a moment, then said, I'll consider it especially.